Okay, hey guys, this is another update on this enterprise server build that I'm doing, and I just wanted to do another video to indicate or to show some of the issues that I ran into with Dockers as well as with VMs. Mostly, this is going to be what I ran into with the VM, but here are the Dockers. I think I indicated on the last time, and I've pretty sure I've done many times before, is in order to get this Play Store, this VMs, not VMs, this apps, which is basically an apps store, you have to go into the plugin section and paste here the URL you get from the Unraid forum. And look, I think at the second video, and I'll show you how to do that. Anyway, you're here at the apps. You can pick whatever app what you want and install it by clicking here. You can just pin it if you want to read more information about it at another time, just that you're interested. And then you can always find your pins by going here. Here you'll see everything that you've pinned. Not necessarily everything that you've downloaded, but certainly everything that you've pinned. And by the way, these are links to Unraid forum. I thought at first they were links to the Docker forums that would tell you more about what's going on with these Dockers, but they are in fact links to Unraid's forum for these Dockers. Even if it is a repository not created by them, it links to their forum page for this Docker. So once you've clicked on this little button right here, it installs. Let me see if I will do one here. Like for instance, you click here, you come to this VM page, and then you can go in here and change all of your settings. I don't know. Space Invader 1's video on this is probably much more extensive and much clearer than what I would do here. So I'll put a link. If you haven't seen Space Invader 1, you can do a search on YouTube for Space Invader 1, and he has a tutorial on how to add containers. I may actually put in the body of this comment section, description section, the link to the specific video on how he did it. But at any rate, you go to, you install that there. And one of the cool things is this Docker section is where everything is stored, but also on the dashboard, they also have it here as well. So you can easily get to, as well as your VMs, which are right here. I have completed all of my backups from the QNAP NAS, but as I indicated in a previous video, I have an issue that I think I know what the problem is, and it's going to require some downtime. So I'm going to need to leave everything as is on my QNAP. So let me get to my issue that I had. I wanted to run Windows Home Server, Windows Server 2016. And if you look at Space Invader 1's video, one of the things that he indicates is that you're not going to be able to, out of the box, pass through graphics. So what you'll have to do is, like for instance, this board actually comes with its own kind of proprietary video graphics, which I'm going to pass through and take a look at now that I've solved the bigger problem. But in order to get that to work, you actually have to go into the settings, and you have to go into the VM manager, go to out of basic view, but actually into the advanced view, and you have to do PCIe ACS override. And on his video, it only had two functions, yes and no. It looks like now they've got a whole slew of them. I just put both on there. And once you do this, you're going to have to reboot your server. And once the server comes back, you'll actually get a warning if you go into one of the other areas. If you go into the to view your to check to make sure that this thing is actually working. If you go into the tools area and not advanced notifications, but system devices, you will get this error that PC i.e. ACS override is on. And basically what you're looking for is for your graphics card to be in its own group. This is the graphics family controller that I want to use, that's a part of the motherboard. So that is a much desired function. Once you have that, then when you go into the VMs and you go into the actual edit, you can then pass through your graphics card will show up in the graphics card area. You'll be able to click and see your graphics card, or in my case, this motherboard graphics utility, and it will allow you to then click on that and you'll be able to use it. Until you do that, you have to use VNC. And here's the thing that I ran into. I don't know if everyone will, but you have to have, let me go back in here again, actually. When you do your install, and by the way, let me just go over quickly the formation. Install ISO should be in the MNT user ISOs folder. I segmented my folder out by operating system type, Windows, Linux, and OS X. So you can do that in the shares section. I think you might have to go into Crusader and go in and actually make those additional shares. Actually, I don't think you do. Those are already created once unraid is installed. So you should be able to just, in the Windows File Manager, go in and create those folders. I then dropped all of the ISOs I had, which I had in a folder on the server already. I dropped all my ISOs and broke them up that way. In addition, this virtuo driver ISO is absolutely necessary. You will find that here. No, not there. You will find it in Settings, VM Manager. And you actually need to hit download here, and it will download the virtuo driver into this folder right here. Once that's done, when you go into VMs, it will appear. Once you go into VMs, it will appear in the virtuo ISO section. It will just automatically install into that section once you've done that. Actually, it may install into the ISOs, and you may need to drag and drop it into this section. But this is an absolute necessity. Why? Because the VM has absolutely no, particularly with Windows, has no network card or network adapter. So this is the other reason why you need this VM to work, because there is no way. You can't use TeamViewer, you can't use Splashdot, you can't even use Windows' own remote desktop, because there is no video, there is no network card. In addition, there are other errors that you'll find when you go to the virtuo, and I'll show you that right now. Okay, so this is in this tiny itty bitty box. This is the Windows Home Server. This here is the CD for the install CD, and this here is the virtuo Windows driver CD. I thought that if you that once you drop this ISO in here, that this would be actually an executable, just like the Windows install DVD is. But you click on here, you just got a bunch of boxes. So it was like I was looking for the execute command, or the execute the clicker. Nothing. Then I realized, wait a minute, let me go into Device Manager. So I went into Device Manager, and all of my Ethernet, as well as a PC, two PC devices, as well as this one right here, all had these orange warning signs, yellow warning signs. So I went in and basically right-clicked, which is what I'm going to do right now, hit Update Software, browse, and then go to pick. You want to make sure you pick the CD that has the virtuo drivers, and you hit Next. Now watch it not work on this one. Oh no, here we go. Okay. Boom. And there it is. Once I did that, I immediately this went from a red X to immediately a network. Let me see if this will also be updated. That I don't know. Let's hit next. Yeah. Oh, okay. Best driver is already installed, which is no driver at all. So everything else looks like it's installed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the and I'm going to actually use Windows. There is a Splashdot which you can use, but I'm going to actually use Windows own, which I've always used, Windows own remote desktop. Okay, back in here, we're waiting for Windows server to shut down. And I want to go in here. And yes, these are all, Windows must have shut down. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go click on that. One of the things that you'll notice once you do that, you no longer, once you start up the VPN, the VM, you no longer have the VNC function. You are pretty much have graphics, but you have full graphics control. So if you have, like I say, TeamViewer or Splashdot or whatever, you can now use it to go directly in, and you should have full graphics support from your driver. So next is CentOS I'm going to install, and then that's it. So I will see you guys on the next video.